They said the bells kept the dead away, but the dead learned how to ring them. In 1829, Hollow Street rang its bells every night to keep the dead from wandering home. But one storm silenced them all, except the bell at number 12. When the townsfolk entered, the family was gone. Yet the table was still set for dinner. Only one thing moved. The bell, swaying on its own, chiming slow, like a heartbeat. The sheriff reached to stop it. From the attic, 12 more bells began to ring, one by one, each tone louder, each closer, till his name rang last.
Michael.
By the way, if you like dreamland places, check out the Pin channel on comment. You will never forget it. Some lakes reflect the stars. This one remembers your name. In 1841, a village built its homes beside a quiet lake. One night, the water turned black, swallowing the moon's reflection. By morning, half the town was gone, vanished without a trace. Fishermen say if you row out too far, you'll hear them whispering below the surface, calling your name softly, like an echo from the deep. A man once leaned over to listen, and something cold whispered back, "It's your turn." They found his boat floating empty, but the water still rippled like something had just gone under. Subscribe for more NYC Nightmare. Do you love these children? In 1832, St. Mary's Orphanage burned to ashes. They said it was an accident, an overturned lantern. But every year on the fire's anniversary, people passing by still see lights flickering inside the ruins. A traveler once followed the glow, found children sitting in a circle, singing lullabies through scorched smiles. When he turned to leave, the door shut itself, and in the morning, the building was cold again. But now, there were more voices in the song. Bro, why are we even scared of ghosts? Like, if a ghost haunts your house, just haunt it back. He floats in all spooky like,
Leave this place.
no, you leave boom. He moves the chair, you break the chair. He slams the door, you slam it harder. Now the demon's in the ghost break room like,
Bro, I think my human is possessed. Yeah, he told me to get out.
order him like, you can walk through the walls, right? Then go bring me food.
Want some popcorn?
Yeah, grab me some from the kitchen. He's not haunting you anymore. He's just trying to finish his shift.
The Bunny Man, a legend in these woods. They say he kills anyone who dares cross the bridge at night. Teens have dared each other to go there. Some never returned. Some changed forever. Say you can hear him before you see him, footsteps echoing, a shadow in the corner of your eye. And then he's there, the axe, the mask, staring straight at you. You think you're safe. Think again. He's closer than you imagine. He's watching, always watching. Would you dare visit the bridge tonight? Would you survive?
She moved into the old apartment, drawn to its cheap rent. Everything seemed fine, until she noticed the silence. No birds, no traffic, no neighbors. Even her own footsteps sounded hollow. One night she heard a whisper behind her, soft insistence saying her name. She spun around. Empty room. The whisper grew closer, and then, from the closet, slow, deliberate footsteps came out to her. It started when he found an old TV on the side of the road. Dusty, screen cracked, but still worked. Every night, it turned itself on at 3:12. Only static. Then one night, he saw her, a little girl, standing behind the static.
Can you see me now?
He tried to unplug it, but her reflection stayed on the dark screen, smiling. Neighbors say they heard screaming in silence. When police arrived, the TV was still on, and the static showed a new image, his face, staring back from the inside. There's an old hotel downtown, the Highcrest. Its elevator doesn't take you where you want to go. It takes you where it wants. Floors that don't exist. 13B, 7.5. Rooms filled with whispers. Man said he saw himself inside. Same face. Only his reflection smiled back. Security footage shows the doors closing, but never opening again. Now if the elevator stops halfway, the lights flicker. They say it's choosing someone new. And if you ever hear it ding on an empty floor, don't get in. Their town whispers about him. Midnight Rider. They say if you drive alone past the old highway after 2 a.m., you'll see a lone motorcycle in your rearview mirror. No headlight, no sound, just a shadow keeping pace. If you ignore it, it vanishes. But if you look too long, it pulls up beside you, and you'll see there's no one riding it. Only a helmet, cracked open, leaking smoke. Witnesses claim the rider's searching for the driver who hit him years ago. The ones who see his face never make it to their destination. So if you hear an engine behind you tonight, don't look back. He was playing solitaire when his screen went black. Then red text appeared, told him to move a plant by the elevator, exactly 3 inches. He did it. Minutes later, his boss fell and broke his ankle. That night, the message came back. The next day, car crash. His boss survived. The woman he loved didn't. Now every time his screen lights up, Jack answers, because the voice always rewards him right after he kills someone else. When I was 5 and sick in bed, I met a creature named Mr. Widemouth. Told me to jump out the window. Said there's a trampoline I can't see. I almost believed him. Next day, he brought a box of knives. Let's juggle, he said. Told him no. He just smiled wider. Years later, I found the trail he showed me. It ended in a graveyard. All children. It said,
"You finally came to play."
this looks like a normal photo, until you notice what's behind her. In 1983, a photographer in Japan developed a picture that made him go deaf. When he played the development reel, the sound of screaming came through the chemical bath. The negative showed a woman with her mouth open, but no one was in the room when the picture was taken. He quit photography the next day. Some say her scream is still on the film. This isn't fiction, it's real.
The friends finally reach Whiteleaf's tower, using fake police sirens to try and scare him into giving up. But Whiteleaf soon realizes their plan. Cornered, he's injured and can't escape, so in a final act of rage, he sets the tower on fire. Chaos erupts. Everyone tries to escape, but Whiteleaf grabs Bella's brother. Both perish in the flames. The tragedy leaves Bella haunted. She attempts suicide multiple times, claiming she is tormented by the ghosts of those who died. Follow for next part.
They buried them too soon. Now they're digging their way back. In 1827, a plague swept through the small town of Alderwick. So many died so fast, they buried people before checking if they were truly gone. To be safe, the priest tied a string from every coffin to a small bell above the graves. At night, the townsfolk would hear faint ringing.
They thought it must have been the wind.
But one night, the bells all started ringing at once. By morning, every grave was open, and the priest's bell was still ringing. From inside the church, would you sing this song? The fire swept through the orphanage at Blackmore Hill. Everyone thought the children were lost, until the villagers heard them singing through the ashes. When they searched the ruins, every bed was empty, but the sheets were still warm. Now every full moon, the song starts again, and if you follow the voice, you'll see small hands reaching out of the soot, begging you to stay and play forever.
Would you follow them? Or pray they never call your name?
3 friends pour their entire life savings into attending the grand national function. Day and night, they toiled to build the world's first machine that can turn seawater into drinkable water. But then, Whiteleaf shows up. He offers them a choice: sell the project to him or watch it be destroyed. Their creation is the result of a lifetime of dedication, so they refuse. Angry and desperate, Whiteleaf tries to manipulate them, sending a video of Ray's girlfriend screaming, attempting to lure her away. Now the choice is theirs. Protect the project they've poured their lives into, or save the one they love. Wait for part 2. If your basement light turns on by itself every night, don't go check it. He noticed it the first week he moved in. Every night, around 2:13 a.m., the basement light flicked on, stayed for a minute, then went dark. He finally got tired of it, grabbed a bat, and went down. The bulb was still swinging, but there was no one there. As he turned to leave, he saw a note on the wall. "Thanks for letting me out. Would you go back upstairs or check who's standing behind you now?"
A clockmaker built timepieces so perfect, they said the devil wound them. After his death, his son tried to finish the final clock, but every time he touched it, he heard something breathing inside the gears. One night, the ticking stopped all at once. Villagers rushed in and found the workshop empty, every clock frozen at the same second. Then, slowly, each one began ticking again, in perfect rhythm with a heartbeat that wasn't there. The town forgot the children who burned in that orphanage, but the children didn't forget the town. An orphanage caught fire in the middle of the night. 23 children buried on the hill behind it. For years, no grass grew there. Then, one stormy evening, the church bells rang by themselves, and smoke began rising from the graves. Villagers followed the sound and saw small shapes moving through the fog, their hands black with ash, their eyes glowing like candle wicks. When the priest tried to bless the graves, every bell in the village burst at once. By dawn, the church was gone, and the ground where it stood was still burning.
They buried a young widow on the edge of town, but her husband swore he still heard her crying every night. So he tied a bell to her grave, a string running down into the coffin. For 7 nights, the bell stayed still. On the 8th, it ran through the fog, digging with his bare hands. When he reached the coffin, the string was cut from somewhere under the ground. The bell kept ringing anyway. Would you throw a stone here? A nobleman was buried alive after villagers found him drinking from a girl's wrist. 3 nights later, his coffin was found open. The graves around him was empty. Now, every full moon, a carriage climbs Viduva Hill by itself. Lantern lit, horses silent. Last winter, a dude threw a stone at it. Overnight, his house was painted red using blood of his girlfriend. In 1825, church bell in Belgium rang every Sunday at evening. Then 1 week later, it rang at midnight instead. The priest swore that he wasn't there in church. When villagers arrived at church, every grave was open and every coffin was empty, except the one with name of the priest, and its nails were shut from inside the coffin. In 1827, an orphanage in Italy was burned down, which had thousands of innocent children. The room where the fire started still smells of smoke. Locals say if you step inside alone, you'll hear children coughing or screaming, but the room is empty. Murder is legal in my town, but some things shouldn't be seen. I watched a man kill 2 people in a cafe when I was 8. No screams, no panic, just normal. Mom told me it was the urge. People kill when they feel it. No reason. No remorse. Neighbors killed their own children. Their mother smiled blankly. Blood-stained hands gripping the fence I trained with knives. Everyone expected me to follow through the same. But when my urge came, I didn't do the same. In this town, death is ordinary. The madness is optional. Yo, ever feel like someone's watching you and you're alone? This dude's chilling at home, scrolling TikTok late at night. Phone dies. Suddenly all the lights flicker. He grabs a flashlight, sees his own reflection in the window, but it's smiling at him. Subscribe to know what they are. He came home at midnight, but the people inside weren't his family. When his wife opened the door, she screamed. She said she didn't know him. His own son hid behind her, crying. He showed his ID, old photos, everything, but in every picture, his face was gone. He ran to his old room. It looked exactly the same, except the calendar on the wall said 2012, and a newspaper on the table said he died that year. Then the phone rang. Voicemail played. His own voice saying, "Don't come home. Would you still try to prove who you are?" The voicemail said, "Don't sleep tonight." She thought it was a prank, but still she stayed awake all night. Nothing happened. Next day she got a text. Tonight too. She didn't mind it, but that night she saw someone running towards the kitchen. But it wasn't anyone else. It was Michael Jackson Skinwalker. By the way, if you love Dreamland, check out the channel on pinned comment.